I am live. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Ron. I am the stateful operator of decentralized reality. And up until this point, I've been pretty private about a lot of things. I'm kind of a silent observer, sometimes not so silent. And most recently, especially in like social media space, kind of been throwing some things out there, but I want to share now some more refined thoughts. I actually wrote down some things over here, so I'm going to go over and thinking being more public about my observations and my experience is probably, well, at least in some way it'll help me, and if it helps others, then that's great. And of course, that's always an intent of mine. um, for those that don't know me, um, well, let's just get into it. So I was gonna make a whiteboard video, and of course, uh, this would have been inspired by our beloved mathematician Charles Hoskinson, who created the Cardano blockchain, uh, and has inspired many, including myself. And so, yeah, I'd just like to say thank you to Charles and everyone that has been building in the Cardano community, and it's kind of been a springboard of a platform, um, with decentralization really being the core of what is going to bring about what we really want, right? And we'll get into some of those ideas. Let's see what else I have before we get into some of the nitty gritty. Oh, I guess more about me, right? So, who am I? Like I said, my name's Ron, and why am I qualified to be speaking about anything? And why should you even be listening to me, right? Because that's always important to know. Um, so a little bit about my background. I worked in manufacturing for over a decade, uh, just over 12 years, and that was very successful. And mainly just because all my goals that I set for myself, I accomplished. Actually, it's funny because what they say about what you think you can accomplish in the short term is is usually not as much. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with being overambitious, and it is true because I tend to think that way. I can accomplish everything in by next week, and it's not usually not possible. I mean, you can do a lot of things, especially when we're all working together. But anyways, back to me. Um, my long-term goals were so I started out in manufacturing as just a quality analyst or inspector, and I had many different uh, roles, titles, but ultimately it was all the same thing: um, identifying problems and really actually just identifying solutions because the problems are always there, and especially in manufacturing, they're just so apparent. I mean, like you can measure everything. I mean, output, and you can immediately see when something isn't meeting the specification or requirement. So it's very easy to focus on, uh, and then you just, in my mind, it was simple. But um, one thing I found about human nature is that, I mean, we all know this. It's just we're so resistant to change, and change is necessary if we want to make anything better. We want to learn and grow. But I just noticed, and I worked in many different manufacturing environments, ranging from small family-owned businesses to very large corporations. The biggest one being a over 350-year-old mega corporation. They're called Sangoban, and I worked in the super abrasives part of it, but they if you can think of anything that's manufactured, I'm sure they probably own some facility or plant that makes it, because they're basically just in the business of buying other businesses at this point, and just how can they increase their bottom line, which working in quality, I helped with that. And at some point, once I got to the top of the mountain that I created for myself, which were my long-term goals. So my first one was to become a quality engineer. I achieved that. My next one was to get my bachelor's degree in industrial engineering. I achieved that. And actually, both of those sooner than I thought. So I had a 5-year goal, and for both of those, I achieved those sooner than 5 years. And then my 10-year long-term goal was to become a quality manager and then a quality director. I achieved those less than 10 years. And then once I was there, I just felt like a plateau. Like, okay, I got here. Now what? Like, I needed more. And and then I started doing some reflecting and thinking about, like, okay, like what difference am I actually making? And I talked to one of my mentors, and the way he explained it was that, hey, um, everybody has something that they can offer that is helping others. Because I was kind of having an identity crisis, maybe, I don't know, just really just I was unhappy about what I was doing, even though I achieved what I set out to do, which was weird for me. And so the way he explained it was that, because I was saying stuff to him about, oh, maybe I need to be helping people, like be a doctor or something, because that's probably helping people directly. And he said that, how did he say it? The way he said it was that, yeah, basically being in quality, I was like a company doctor. So I was diagnosing issues, and then providing solutions, which is like what a doctor should be doing for their patients to help them get better. And I just did this in a systematic way with processes. So yeah, moving on. That's a little about my background, and then I really just started thinking about how can I move away from this, where my my identity has always been rooted in continuous improvement. How can we keep improving? And but I just got stuck in the manufacturing world because it's a closed container, right? All I was doing was improving the situation for that company to improve their bottom line, while going on around us in the workforce, it was mostly miserable people that didn't want to be there. And I just felt that there's something else. I need to find something better. And then I started looking into investing, and naturally I stumbled across Bitcoin, which was kind of like in the periphery of my mind. Like, I knew about it, then hearing stories, um, which I thought, okay, well, I'm going to avoid that because I hear tales about criminal activity, and this is like the Silk Road. So I avoided it, but then came across some compelling YouTube videos and influencers that influenced me. And I was just kind of a silent observer, just started putting little bits of my paycheck into different cryptos, and then I saw them drop in value, and I saw them gain in value, and then I came across Cardano, and I saw this was because at this point in my investing, it was just really watching videos and just like on the sidelines, like way outside, like, oh, this is cool. Like, I wish I could do something like this, but like I still had the mentality that, oh well, I've already got my path. Like, I went to school for this. This is what I'm doing now. I can't just switch gears like this. But then I found out about Cardano, and there was this path to becoming a stake pool operator. Anybody could become a stake pool operator. This was very enticing to me. And so I immediately jumped in, because what Charles told us is that, even a stay-at-home mom can be a stake pool operator and run their own stake pool business. So I was like, yeah, this is awesome. Like now I can get like hands-on with an actual blockchain and understand what is going on. So so yeah, now we're kind of up to speed here. Um, oh yeah. So in the Cardano community, I met a lot of cool cats. Um, some of it like almost feels like I don't know want to say destiny, but like I just feel like this like drawing force, like something is just telling me like you're in the right place, like you're with the right people now, and um, it's just been a really amazing experience being in this group of people that all like are actually actively trying to make the world a better place and change the way that we're using technology. So I I joined a group because I actually I got inspired by other people making YouTube videos and showing people how to run stake pools. And I was in like a bunch of different Telegram groups and helping other people. I mean, really just like stumbling along myself, like just I had no idea what I was doing. Like I was just following the guides that were out there, and then we realized like, oh, these guides aren't even that good because people are still making mistakes. And like from my background, like that's literally what I did was create ways for people to improve how they're operating, stake pool operator, and so I made my own Discord, and then people started joining it, and then they told me about this group called Spakra, which was really a mouthful. It's Stake Pool Operator Collective Representation Assembly, and if you ask even some of the co-founders what that acronym means, they would stumble on that. I guarantee you. But I mean, in principle and in the core of what we set out to do, the mission, which is still active, by the way, it's just a little stagnated because of scattered attention and what the people that were part of it are doing now, myself included. And what we were aiming to do was just bring awareness to how do you set up a stake pool operator responsibly, properly, like keeping security in mind, uh, and focusing on like, okay, first you got to go on the test net because that's how we all started on the incentivized test network, and then we moved to the main net so that you actually know what you're doing before running a pool, which um, sadly a lot of people lost their good amount of crypto because they weren't following good practices. But anyways, yeah, I was kind of interim CEO. I don't know if that's my best role. I mean, really, I'm just the type of person that I get excited about things and I just start doing it. And the way I'm wired is that as long as I'm enjoying what I'm doing and I see value in it, I'll put my all into it. And I'm not focused on short-term gains. And actually, to the dismay of a lot of my peers, they kind of wonder like, how come you never marketed your pool? And really, I mean, I have a bunch of different reasons for it. Um, but yeah, besides the point. Um, so that's me in a nutshell. A little bit of my background, maybe why I'm qualified to be speaking on any of this. If I am, I don't know. If you want to listen to me, that's cool. Oh yeah, I do have a public announcement about running my stake pool. Um, maybe I should just preface this first, give a little context with where we're at in the crypto space, which by and large is something I see um, because really, I mean, if you think about it, what is our reality? It's our collective representation, that word again, of our perceptions and how we're projecting those. And Um, Current state, um, the way that I'm observing it is very much dictated by like our collective musings, and it's kind of like the echo chamber of crypto Twitter is what I see, and 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 I guess like the YouTube videos that the influencers put out, and they kind of like sway people's perceptions. And I was for years like kind of swayed by that too, but then I kept like kind of stepping back, like unsubscribing from this channel. I'm subscribing from this channel because then I just see like a lot of conflicting. I mean, I could see like a YouTube video pop up saying like we're going up, or like another one we're going down. It's like, okay, I don't want to hear any of that noise anymore. Like, because honestly, I really stopped caring completely about the market completely. Like it was just irrelevant to me. And when anyone would talk about it, I would just tune them out because I didn't want to hear about it. I mean, I could, from a macro perspective, I could analyze what's kind of going on. And actually, that's what I did for a couple years before I jumped into like the Cardano blockchain and became a stake pool operator, um, was day trading. And so I got pretty decent at making some moves. Like, but then of course, like there was a black swan event, forgot what the date was, but pretty much got everybody. And then I just realized, okay, this is just one of those games like that we're not going to win at, because the big whale people, they're the ones that are moving the market. So what's the point of participating in a game that you're just going to get burned? And you can make a little bit here and there if you're in and out and stuff. But then I was like, I don't want to be part of this. So I tuned that out, stopped subscribing to those things, and I'm happier for it. So yeah, current state of crypto Twitter is just something I see right now. We're just kind of all focused on what the market's doing, which is still going down, possibly, maybe a bounce coming soon, who knows? And it's kind of a cannibalistic environment, the way that I see it. I mean, it's just kind of like eat or be eaten. I mean, it's not a thriving place like that we want to create for ourselves. It's a surviving state. And for me, that's not what I want. And I do know that until we change how we are being, nothing will change. We're just repeating the same and fooling ourselves if we think we're not. So, public announcement. What I was going to say is that supposed to be having a meeting with Cardano Foundation again. I've met with them in the past numerous times, different people. I actually personally met Frederick Gerard at the summit in 2021, and then I've been on numerous calls with various other people that are still in the foundation and for a while it was kind of like a revolving door, and then there's scandals, this and that, whatever. But I mean, the Cardano Foundation, I'm hopeful that uh, they are going to pull through and help us all move forward with the mission that we're on. So I'm kind of hinging a decision on whether I'm going to continue supporting the decentralization, which, like I said, it's cannibalizing in this current condition. We are not moving towards decentralization, and I'm not going to put any figures or cite any metrics or anything. That's not the purpose of this video. You guys can go and look up that stuff yourself. But it's just the Cardano network is just rapidly being centralized. It is what it is. And for me right now, it's just I don't think it's worth continuing to run my nodes where it's not sustainable as a business model, which I know I'm not doing the way that most in the space right now would be marketing, which It's just all through Twitter and YouTube, echo chamber, small pond. And I've always seen running a stake pool more than just like the act of being a node operator itself, more to like outside of this, where it's like it's so easy to run a stake pool and it's almost foolproof. It's not like I have to be some qualified guru to be able to run this. Like I learned how to do it and I never even used Linux before this. So it's not that difficult. It took me a couple weeks to like kind of get the ropes, and then I was showing other people. So not that hard. Um, but the way I've always seen it is that regular business owners, like mom and pop type businesses, could be running stake pools. And I've always seen running a stake pool as kind of like your own bank, literally. So you get delegators that care about your business and what your business is doing, so they support you, and your your earnings can go in as savings, which you earn over time because of the protocol, because you're supporting the decentralization of the network, right? So we haven't made that shift, and at this point, if we're going to keep moving to centralization, I'm just going to have to pull back until I see another point to come back in. And my marketing is much different than how the current way would be that I see. Either way, I'm still excited about the potential. It's just where we're at right now. Oh, I had some more about me. Let's move on to something better. My past life. I'll be doing more videos and actually like a whiteboard video soon. So I'm sure you'll hear more as I keep talking. My consciousness is just streaming. Oh yeah. Some of the I got on my notes here, some of the woes of stuff I've witnessed working in manufacturing, how the workforce is just it was depressing to say the least. But um, I do my best not to let myself get in that state, and I've definitely I know I've had an impact on those around me. And actually, let's move on to this topic now, because that's what the title of this video is: how do we create our own reality that we really want to be living in? And first, we have to start with understanding that everything is energy. We are energy bodies. This this is the physical, yes, but it's still energy. It's the when you go into the physical state, that's just condensed. So that's how we can feel, touch, right? But a lot of uh, most of our reality we don't see. It's just even though there are technologies now where you can see actually like somebody's energy body, like their aura, right? And a depressed person, if you would look at their energy body through those those ways of viewing it, you would see that their energy body is like pretty much depleted or non-existent. And then for someone that's what like Eastern way of thinking would say is someone enlightened, like enlightened being that they understand like that their energy and they're they're on a higher vibration, because when you're on a higher vibration, that's moving away from that more condensed, centralized way of being. And so when I say a decentralized reality is a more decent reality for everybody, that's truth. It's not just a marketing slogan, even though it's a good marketing slogan. Um, so yeah, The whiteboard video would have been nice because I was going to reference this book right here. That's a really good book. You got to check it out. I'll just show you. You can see this is your energy body. I don't know if that's actually... So I don't think that's coming up really good, but we can go over this another time. Your energy body is really like 5 parts. So like I said, you got your physical body. That's like your vehicle, right? Your vehicle for your soul. What's your soul? That's your consciousness. And your consciousness is what, like, where your thoughts are coming from. And that's, you have different levels of consciousness. You got like your actual awareness consciousness and then your subconsciousness. And it kind of runs like a computer. I mean, you got like your operating system, that's your subconscious, and then you got like your mouse pointer that's like directing everything. And it's like, that's your awareness consciousness. And then then you got like your etheric template is what they say, and that's like your chakra system. And there's way more chakras than just like the normal 7 that you'd see, but those are the main ones. And chakras are just like your energy wheels. So basically, when I was saying like for a depressed person, maybe like some of their energy wheels aren't really like rotating anymore, and kind of like a machine, yeah. So just like in manufacturing, if you don't maintain machines, they don't operate the same way. They're not going to produce efficiently. So same with your energetic machine. And then you got your emotional feeling body. That's like the frequency where we can sense and feel. And then you have your mental body, which, like I just said, like that's your consciousness bringing in your thoughts and beliefs, and literally like through your thoughts and beliefs, your perception, it changes like your reality. So for someone that's depressed, everything sucks. Like people are the worst. They hate their lives. They're miserable. They don't see any way out. They can just keep sinking lower and lower into lower vibes until like they can just become like a pathological mess, and they can create destruction for themselves and others. Either like they kill themselves or they kill other people. And that's where you want to vibrate away from, really, especially if you want to make a positive change in this reality that we're all sharing. Because we are all connected. We're connected to like there is no separation. That's an illusion. And then lastly, then you have your spiritual body. So that's like your basically just like your pure energy. I mean, that's like I just said, like energy is everything. It's all connected. So that's like your connection to everything else. So even if you, and I know like they have the terms like empath and stuff like that, some people may be more easily able to like feel others around them. But really, I mean, everyone is an empath to some degree, whether they are in denial of it or not. Um, it's just the nature of our reality. So, for example, if you're on a bus with other people and you come into like a physical proximity of someone else, there's just like people just know. Like let's say there's like some crazy person on the bus, like maybe he's a crackhead kind of person and he does drugs, like he's over there maybe talking to himself, and people just like have like this knowing, like, oh, that's a crazy person. They can feel his energy. Like, I mean, yeah, he might be like actually like physically doing some things, but then there's also people that are just sitting there quietly by themselves, but they're stewing, they're brewing, they're just like angry at the world. Like you can feel that too. And yeah, so like really how that happens is that when you get close to somebody, your energy body actually starts melding with their energy body, and then you're creating a shared reality. It's literally what's happening. So you can feel others' presence, and you know that like that gut feeling sometimes you get, like if you're like, let's say like you're in like a shady part of Chicago, like I've been before, and you're walking on the street and then someone else is walking coming at you, and you just like have this like instinct that like, oh, this person is not a good person. Like they might try to rob me, and that's happened to me. And I've had knives pulled out of me. I've had guns pulled out on me, and my gut was right. And then I got the hell out of there. So yeah, just a little bit on that. We'll talk more about energy stuff. Seriously, you guys should get this book. It's incredible. It's been opening up my eyes. So yeah, like I was saying, I withdrew from a lot of the social media platforms just because I felt they weren't serving me and really all of us. I put out some messages that some may have deemed what did they deem it? They deemed them not their style or something, but I guess they were a little abrasive. I did work in a super abrasives factory for a while, so I guess it kind of rubbed off on me. I've kind of pointed some things out that I just felt that needed to be pointed out, but I took a step back, and like I said, now I'm coming back more collected, so I can share my thoughts in a way that isn't so abrasive, hopefully. But we need a new path forward, right? I mean, there's plenty of good options for us. I mean, that's why we're here, right? This potential that we have right now. I mean, I think this is a really crucial moment in our existence together. I mean, there's obviously a centralized, manipulating, corrupted force that we all sense, and we're kind of like the resistance to that. But we're still trying to like feel out like, okay, so what's the answer? Is it just we all use Cardano blockchain and we solved everything? Well, it's a little more to it than that, but we have to just like really kind of look at things from a macro perspective and realize that blockchain is just a tool. And I know it's like the new hype on the scene, like Web3, whatever, but honestly, the more that I've like learned about this tool that we're using, I mean, it's not that revolutionary. I mean, it's just database that's just a ledger that is public, and I mean, it's got that consensus program protocol, which it makes it immutable, uh, and as long as we have a decentralized network, it should be prone to or exempt from manipulation, right? Um, so as long as we keep going more decentralized, then we're good. But we're not right now. And yeah, market conditions manipulated to try to keep us in this controlled reality. And we can all feel that, us that are here. But yet, we are not taking the actions. And I'm not condemning anybody or anything. Like, I'm just observing. I just take it for what you want. I see the path forward as something different maybe than just what we've been doing. And how do I put this? We're on a path. We're moving, we're kind of stumbling. So I mean, it's good that we're moving in a direction, but it's kind of like, I mean, like they say in the continuous improvement industry, not industry, but the manufacturing industry, I mean, has coined a lot of terms, and they've become really efficient at creating change in an environment where you can rapidly improve things and get your productivity and efficiency up and get your bottom line so it stops bleeding out. Like get rid of scrap and defects and stuff like it's like easy stuff you can implement too. I mean, just organization goes a long way. 5S. And yeah, so we've kind of been doing like that 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of thing, and I think maybe more than 1 step back, I don't know. It's just we've been really short-term focused in my mind, where even people that I've looked up to in this space and thought that they were on the same mission, they've kind of, stepped away and moved towards, like, "Okay, well, I'm just here to make a short-term profit, and it's all about generating revenue. If we don't generate revenue, then then we can't keep moving forward." But I don't know, I just don't think that that's the right way of thinking. I think the right way of thinking is long-term focused, and if we move even though, like, it's not immediate, if we all are moving towards that decentralized way, and also open source, like, so for example, what I see, particularly in the Cardano community is so we have this thing called Catalyst, which is supposed to be what's like sparking all our ingenuity and bringing like the best ideas and funding to those best ideas, but that's not really what's actually happening. A lot of it is something that like should be just like a public open source tool for everybody that they shouldn't even have to pay for. I mean, it should just be like using HTTP. Do we pay for using that protocol? I mean, we kind of do because we're still in the centralized world, but what I mean is those kind of things like people are marketing and then they're collecting from Catalyst to get funds to keep getting revenue. And but then they're putting decentralization on the shelf. Wait a second. So we're going back to centralization. We'll get to decentralization later. That's where I disagree with what's actually happening right now. And I think we've lost our way, but it's just temporary. So no big deal. I mean, what I would propose is that well, I don't need to propose anything, but let me look at my notes really quick. I don't think I'm in a position to start proposing things, and that's like actually why I've pulled myself away. But I do think I have to not be so private and share like what I really feel now in hopes that it will actually spark a catalyst and get us on the path we want to be on. So the main thing I see, so like I said, energy is everything. It's not created or destroyed, um, and our goal should be focused on decentralization and not the short term gains. Yes, we need to survive in the moment, but how can we like leapfrog over that and get to the thriving state? Because like what I see is that we're here saying that we don't want to be part of this centralized world, this reality that we were born into. Yet we're still clinging and going right back into it. It's like we're just taking the pig and this ugly, nasty, nasty fucking greedy pig and just slapping some lipstick on it and going, it's decentralized. But it's not. And then, you guys, we have to stop using these crutches because they're convenient and they're there and we know them. We have to move forward, take that another step, right? Have faith in ourselves that we can do it. And we say we want to use crypto as our way of interacting and interoperating with each other, but what are we doing? We're going back to the government controlled fiat faith-based currency systems, and then going, oh well, yeah, we have to have uh, know your customer and all these like regulatory things that are for our safety. Yeah, for our safety, huh? Um, how's that social credit score system going in China? Because know your customer is right there with that, and we're going right into it and actually making it happen faster. So why are we here again? We have to ask ourselves. I mean, do we really want to be sovereign individuals? It's just, ooh, I guess a lot of good stuff in here. I think I'm just gonna have to make another video, and I'll better prepare these. I just kind of wanted to get something out. Maybe I got 40 minutes already. Hmm. So yeah, another thing I see, just another observation of mine, is that we kind of like tell ourselves that we just need to keep hustling. We just need to keep grinding, grind, and we'll get to where we want to go. And it's like, okay, we're busy grinding ourselves, and when do we ever look up and see like where we're at? Because like, are you just like a mole like digging a hole and just going deeper and deeper? Like, and then when do you ever come up for air and like and look around and go, oh, where are we now? How did I get here? I mean, when? So maybe we need to stop grinding ourselves and take a step back and realize that there's actually a flow state we can get into if we let ourselves. I mean, that's higher vibrational again, like dropping the lower frequency vibrations that our egos hold on to. Our egos are, if you know what an ego is, like, I mean, there is no like our conscious being without an ego. An ego is a good thing. I mean, especially like when you're in a survive type of environment, because egos protect you. They protect like, but then at some point, like that protection is actually harming you because if you want to get to this point up here, ego is kind of fear based, like paranoia, like keeping you like holding on to this like identity that you created, like, oh, but I made this following and like I I did everything I needed to do on Twitter and YouTube to like to appease the algorithms and I did my my captions and my screenshots for my videos going like this so that they would get more views. That's what we want? Are we compromising our values for the short term? But are we thinking about the long term? That's what I want to know. So, I'll save this for another time. All right. Yeah, we're gonna get into some good stuff, guys. Um, and I don't mean to be preachy or anything. Just kind of trying to poke and prod, I guess, just myself and us. Who's us? Only person I can really point at is like it's Charles, because he's our guy, right? Charles, he's our guy. He can't do it. No, if he can't do it, it doesn't matter. We can all do it. You know what? Like the way I've seen Charles, like, and what's up, brother? You and I have met each other a couple times. We talked, had a cigar together. Remember? Um, then your bodyguard isn't like that or something. I don't know. He's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. And for those of you that don't know the story of Wizard of Oz, I mean, he was sucked into Oz, like a magic land. And before that, he was kind of the the make believe wizard. I mean, a lot of people have been pointing that out, like, oh, he says he's a mathematician, but he didn't even finish school. That. It's like it doesn't really matter, to be honest, right? If you got some piece of paper to validate that he went through the academic academy systems, like, come on, we're all kind of becoming more awake, not woke, fuck woke, becoming more awake to these systems that we've been subjecting ourselves to, and we know that it's like, and even employers like are admitting this, like good employers like that are looking for like good talented people that can actually make shit happen, right? Not just like some academic that got good grades and did what he was supposed to, but like someone that can actually think, apply that thinking and do stuff, make solutions happen, right? um so yeah, like he's kind of the way I see it, and don't take any offense, Charles, if you ever watch this. um he's not like the guy that's gonna make everything happen. I mean, he's a business person. Like he recognizes this opportunity that we have, and he's pushing it forward, which is fucking awesome. But he's not making it all happen. Just like the Wizard of Oz, like he's just kind of like he's the eloquent speaker for us, and we don't we don't really need him. Like, but hopefully, what he's doing is helping us realize that us ourselves, the Munchkins, like the guys that I forgot what the other guys are called. Not the watchmakers, but like the builder people. Those like tall like builder people, you know. They look like wizards though. Like they're the ones that are making everything happen. The people. We, the people. So when we realize that we have that ability, that power within us, that's when the magic happens, ladies and gentlemen. So I guess I'll end on that. The path forward for us is to go inside ourselves and truly ask ourselves some deep questions. Like, are we letting our ego get caught up? Are we holding on to this lower frequency vibration of anger, pride, short term thinking? Is that what we're doing? Or are we going higher to like what can be when we let ourselves vibe on that higher level? So yeah, we're on here. Hopefully that was entertaining or somebody gets something out of this. I'll share some more and hopefully these become better over time. Usually things do get better over time the more you practice them. So thank you to everyone that actually listened to me until this point. And yeah, let's keep vibing higher. We can do this. I believe in us. Peace.